Who wants to hear a shitty story? No one, but we're gonna tell it anyway because we read the whole thing, yeah. Welcome to the book club from hell.
Do you want to summarize for the people what we're talking about today?
Oh, yeah, we should
do a little intro, huh?
A little bit of an intro. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Killing Stalking. Maddie had like the genius idea of book clubbing something because we read a couple books in a series at the same time and it was fun. And it's been a year.
It was a great time.
It's been a whole year.
Well, the thing I was thinking, we love terrible anime, but there's a lot of terrible manga too.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten the chance to touch on it. I don't want to rely on big budget studios to bring that terrible content to me. I want to be able to access it myself.
Big budget studios like Regit. I don't know if it's going to be like a book club at all, but it's going to be like it for us. So
yeah,
if you want, you can stop listening, go read part 1 through 10, and then
read along.
Come back and listen to us talk about it, because I've got some shit to ask. I'm very confused.
I feel like we should give a fair warning, I think, on this one, that the content of this is pretty actually bad.
Yeah, it's bad, and also it's definitely 18 plus. Usually I'm like, do whatever you want, but like...
Yeah, no, this is a hard 18 plus.
Yeah,
probably we're gonna have like a trigger warning on this one. If there's a.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about Killing Stalking, episodes 1 through 10 or chapters, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
If you want the actual context of this came out several years ago, and everyone on Earth hated it. Like,
and then for some reason, everyone started talking about it last summer. It was in like the summer, right, or the spring.
Yeah, it was really strange. Well, like, what was really weird about this comic is that everyone hated it, but a lot of people read it and talked about it, which I always found very strange. At least in my circles, it seemed like there was never any positivity about it, but there were a lot of people angry about it.
Yeah.
Which stood out to me, because I don't think generally, if it's something that's so universally hated, people read it. So of course I read it.
I can't think of anything like that.
Yeah. Maybe 50 Shades.
Yeah, 50 Shades. Movies do that too. Like, but movies easier to like digest.
Yeah, to hate watch.
Yeah. I'm gonna hate read a whole webcomic.
A 60 chapter webcomic, almost 70.
I don't know should we just jump into it?
Yeah, well, what's your overall impression
so
okay.
far? Weirdly enough, I kind of like the art style, like a lot.
I like the art in this a lot too.
Yeah.
I think it looks really nice.
We're gonna start with some nice things.
Like, yeah, it's like really detailed and expressive. Like,
yeah, like
and a lot of it is genuinely creepy to look at.
Yeah, I love his creepy face. Like, I don't, like, not in a love way, but, like, I just think it's perfect for, like, what it's doing. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Like, okay, here's the lowdown of the plot. I feel like I should probably throw in here. If any of you have not read this, the premise of Killing Stalking is that this guy, Boom, he's this, just an absolutely pathetic motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, you picture the saddest man you've ever seen. That's this guy. And he has
main dude looks like the bowler hat kid from Meet the Robinsons.
Bruh, he does, like, Goob. He does look like Goob. He has a huge crush on this guy that did his mandatory military service with him. So, naturally...
Not on purpose, they just, like, met there.
Yeah, they just met there.
Yeah.
So, naturally, he's obsessed with him, and he breaks into his house, but discovers... Bum, 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 bing, bang, boom. He has people tied up in his basement and is a serial killer. So the guy he has a crush on comes home too early, discovers he's been caught, and kidnaps his stalker.
Yep.
And they fell in love.
Oh,
they do something. It's not really falling in love, but they certainly are near each other.
Yep. I don't think I have any more initial impressions of this. I just liked the art style when I first read it, and I do like the pacing. The pacing's pretty good. And it'll come up, but there's a few moments that, like, maybe even whole chapters that, like, felt out of place, but they felt like really good short film. So
yes, I think there are elements of this I really do like. Yeah. I think the person that made this has some technical skill, both in terms of narrative structure and in terms of art and panel structure and all of that. I think it's a very well made, really weird piece of work.
It's not crowded. They use the dead space within the frames really well. Your eye goes to the correct spot, and you're not like getting a headache trying to figure out where you're supposed to look. Like,
yeah.
it's good.
No, it's very
it's
well
good. It's a
made.
good read. It's not something
Yeah.
you'd waste your time on trying to read garbage. It's just
Yeah.
presented very well, and you get to enjoy wallowing in the garbage. So.
Yeah, literally. Like, it's about as well made as a piece of trash could be.
Yes.
A very polished piece of trash.
Okay. Episode 1, I did write down that I was also surprised that the sub is the stalker. I thought the stalker was the maniac guy that was doing the like torturing, because I had heard about the torturing. So I was like, okay, maybe I assumed he was the stalker, and he's like got this small little guy that, you know, very easy.
Yeah,
he's very small.
There's a killer and a stalker.
Yeah.
It's 2 characters.
And he was trying to get into the maniac's house because, you know, he loves him, because that's what he explained.
Yeah,
He's like, I do this
to sniff
because
his
I love.
pillows and jack off on his blankets and shit.
He wanted to hump his pillow so that pretending it was him. But he was like, he threw some like flour on the number pad to like get into the house, and he like national treasured his way into like he saw which numbers he usually pressed and like tried all the combinations that he had already written down.
I know, what a genius.
So
Yeah,
but
there's
then
a lot
he made
of
it
power
in.
in that.
Yeah. He made it into the house. He started jacking off on the dude's bed,
He
supposedly.
gets caught outside the house by the cops, right? Like trying to figure out the combination to get in. And he's like, "Oh, I'm Song-woo's cousin, and I'm just picking some stuff up." And they're like, "Okay," but then the thing is like, you've tried a combination 5 times. But then when he gets in, the cops just leave him alone.
I guess.
I feel like I would still be suspicious if I knew it took him 7 tries to get in.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'd still be questioning that.
Yeah. So he gets in the house. I know we were kind of all over the place, but it goes all over the place too.
Yeah.
He gets in the house and he goes, "I can't smell anything." What does that mean? What does that mean?
What were you expecting?
Was he? Was it just because he wanted to? He went to the bed and sniffed it. Like, but why were you expecting to smell him in the hallway?
I don't understand that either. It's a very clean house too.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
don't
later
know what you'd walk in here and be like,
yeah. Later, Sung-woo is like talking to the policeman, and he's like, "If you smell anything, it's this guy's athlete's foot." I'm like, what is it with this comic and smelling stuff? So, Boom goes down the trap door underneath all the shit in the closet because he hears Sung-woo coming home or something.
Yeah. Also, okay. He hears banging in the basement.
Yeah.
And he decides to go check it out.
Yeah.
2 things there. I would not go into somebody's locked trapdoor basement under
That's
any
what I wrote
circumstances.
too. I wrote, why would your first instinct be to go down the creepy trap door?
Second of all, if I heard like movement in a house that I had broken into, no chance I'm investigating that. I am out.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was just him in the basement, like, you don't want that. You broke into his fucking house.
Yeah. So then the last note I have for this chapter is the panel where Sung-woo is like behind him with the baseball bat.
With the baseball bat?
Somewhere around there, it just has like an action thing that says "dun dun," like the fucking Law and Order sound effect.
The last note I had for this chapter is when he goes in the basement and the girl's tied up on the ground. Sung-woo has some bitch in his basement, and she's tied up and blindfolded or whatever.
Yeah.
I wrote, I would absolutely have assumed it was some sort of weird BDSM roleplay.
Yeah, me too.
Not he's a serial killer. Like, I would not have gotten involved. And that's probably something wrong with me, but like, my assumption would have been, oh, I should leave. I'm walking in on something.
Okay, episode 2. It has the line that the main guy says. He goes, "The Sang-woo I know is a much more considerate person." I was like, you broke into his fucking house, man. Like,
You don't know him.
Yeah.
You've never had a conversation with him.
he's attacking you with a baseball bat because you broke into his house.
Yeah, honestly, at that point, like, that first initial, like, he's beating you with a baseball bat, like, I was like, well, you did break into his
Yeah.
house. Like, I can't even really fault him for that one. You did break in. Here's what I will say about Sung-woo once we start to get to know him in chapters 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I really like this character in the same way that I like Jason and Chucky and Michael Myers. Like, I just think he's exceedingly funny. Like,
yeah. He's
a hilarious
so funny.
man.
Yeah.
Like,
There's some moments where he's like terrifying, but most of the time it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, mostly he's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he just kind of says shit. He's so, like, blunt.
Yeah.
Like, he'll walk into the basement and he'll be like, ew, you're stinky, wig. I will say my other note for episode 2, Song-woo goes like, oh, okay, I forgive you, come upstairs. Probably wouldn't have followed him up the stairs. I think I think even the first time I read this, I think as soon as he said that, I was like, he's gonna push you down the stairs.
Yeah, either that or like I would have done something. I would have known he was gonna fucking push me down the stairs.
Yeah, like I don't think I would have wanted to get close. I wouldn't have gotten within pushing distance on
No.
that staircase. Thank you
But
very much.
you do have to remember that this dude is obsessed with him.
Yeah, no.
He thinks he's very nice.
He clearly is refusing to believe that this is a bad guy, despite all evidence to the contrary. He's so mean in that bit, by the way. I remember that bit specifically because he just tears into him for no reason. Like, you've got this guy tied up on your floor and he's like, you're ugly, you're unemployed, you're middle-aged, you're faggot. Like,
you're like, whoa, hang on.
Like, bruh. Like, why? You're adding insult to injury here. You already threw this guy down the stairs. The number, by the way, of like microaggressions Song-woo is perpetually committing against the gay community.
Yeah.
Why?
He's gay and homophobic.
We found him, boys.
The last note I have for this chapter is, was Boom already wearing briefs or did Song-woo put him in them?
I had that exact same note. I did make 2 more notes on chapter 2.
Yes.
The 2 notes I made were, quote, plus you're a dude lover, and quote, your homo tendency.
That one made me laugh too. I was like, homo
I know
tendency.
that's a translation issue. I know that has nothing to do with the person who wrote the comic, but that is extremely funny phrasing.
Yeah.
Clearly the translator was just afraid to use the word faggot, which is also a word I use way too comfortably.
Probably should have just... They use the R word.
They do! So what? Come on. Come on.
If you're gonna...
He uses the R word, like, repeatedly.
He
like,
does.
a bunch of times. So if you're gonna go in on it, go in on it.
There are moments where he could just say stupid, and he uses the R word. I'm like, why? I get the first time to, like, as an author, to, like, say, but, like, bruh.
But, like, he says it several times, but he does not say faggot. He can't say faggot, I guess.
You're like,
he says dude lover. I did write down another note on chapter 2. It was, is that cat food that he's giving him?
I also thought it was cat food at first, but it's porridge.
It is, but it is, yeah, it looks very much like the food my cat eats.
It is fish porridge. So, and it comes in a little can that you peel back like a tuna fish can or a cat food can.
Actually, there's a lot of good going on in this chapter. He dumps this cat food can on his face.
I almost took a picture of that. That was before I started going crazy with the screenshots. I was like, I don't need that.
It's gross. He dumps this cat food on his face and like kisses him. And Boom is like, a kiss?
Yeah.
Isn't that what people that are dating do?
You're like, is this really the time, Boom? Is this really the time?
What's on your mind? He's trying to kill you. Like, my friend, I know you're not in your right state of mind at the moment, but come on, man. Oh, but he kisses him, and Boom moves his leg a little bit. You know, he does, like, the Princess Diaries, like, leg raise, like, oh. And Song-woo's like, oh, that's not good.
This is not allowed.
And goes at him with the sledgehammer.
Because he thought he had broken it.
He thought he had already broken it, pushing him down the stairs.
Yeah.
But his legs were not broken, so Song-woo's like, time for the sledge.
Yeah.
Naughty Princess Diaries boys get the sledge.
Where are you at now? Where are we at?
All right, we're in chapter 3.
Okay, so he pees all the way up the stairs.
He does pee all the way up the stairs. This was the one that has the bait and switch, where it looks like they're fucking at the beginning, and then Song-woo's just doing push-ups in the basement.
Right, okay.
Here is something I wrote down. I was wondering if he's so annoyed by the amount of noise Boom is making, why he's working out in the basement.
Yeah, why?
Why didn't you just go upstairs? You have a whole big house. You could go work out upstairs.
Yeah, he has a 3-level house.
Like, it's a huge house, and it's just you. So go work out somewhere else.
But yeah, so then he's working out downstairs. Boom pees, or he starts to pee. And then he takes him upstairs.
He gets annoyed at him for making too much noise, so then he's cutting him with the tuna can.
Yeah.
And Boom pisses his pants.
Yeah. So he
takes
his
briefs.
Yeah, he takes him upstairs. And he sets him down next to the tub. And then he
that
takes
bothered
the
me
shower
too. Why not in the tub? Put him in the tub. You're making your own floor all fucking wet.
He douses him.
This guy is a maniac. What the fuck is wrong with you? Just put him in the bathtub.
And the way he cleans him, he like just shoves it right in his face and starts like rinsing him just on his face. And he's like, sorry, the water pressure is really strong. And he makes him move his hands. So Boom is just sitting there like getting blasted in the face. And then he gives him some shampoo or something. And he's like, wow, you suck at washing your hair. Walks away, comes back and is like, you're still washing your hair? It's like, what else would he be doing?
Oh my god. There's so much iconic shit in this scene. There's so much good stuff going on. There is also Please Stop Putting Me in the Basement, I'll Do Anything, It's Too Dark and Moist and Stuffy, and Songwoo's iconic. It's dark because it's a basement.
And you're like, fair.
You're like, yeah, I guess. No, this is what I mean about this character being just like constantly unrelentingly malicious, like even in just really little petty ways. He's so mean. Oh, he does change his underwear. In this scene. Yes, they change underwear.
Okay.
So confirmed, he is changing Boom's underwear.
Thank God he wasn't just sitting there in PP underwear.
I would be so upset if I had to sit in PP underwear.
But yeah, so
yeah, the rest of this I'd be fine with, but I'd be so upset if I had to sit in PP underwear. Also, he says all of this mean shit to him for these first couple of chapters, like just constantly tearing into him. And the one that Boom seems upset about is when he's like, you look like a whore. He's like, whore.
Right, because he changed him into a crop top and a long skirt.
Yeah.
And he's like, you look like a country whore. And Boom's like, I take offense to that.
He's like, a whore? This is also the first of many times where he seems to, like, test him, you know? Like, he leaves him alone near the door for a minute.
Right,
to see if he'll run away.
And he's like, stupid, and then he comes back, didn't run away.
He comes back, he's like, you're so dumb, you could have tried to run away.
He's like, I would have
caught you because I was hiding, but you didn't try.
I also wrote down, it says that he blushes, but I see no blush on his face.
This threat he makes also, when he's like, if you get any closer to the door, I'm gonna cut open your jawline.
Yeah.
That's scary shit, genuinely.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, no, that's actually really gruesome. Like, that's disgusting.
He's like, don't worry, I'll do it so that you'll never see it in the mirror, but you'll know. You'll know. And I'm like,
yeah. Like, I was like, damn, I wouldn't run either.
This is also the chapter where you find out he's got mommy issues. Right? Like he's one of those serial killers. The classic, like my mom was either mean or really nice to me and I hated it. So
I hated my mom and now I'm bad to men?
Well, he's mostly bad to women. This is the first man.
It's true. It's
because he said
women.
He hasn't killed a man since he killed his dad, which is supposedly his first kill, probably. I'm guessing, hopefully.
I think it is.
Yeah, and it's both of them for serial killers. They either hate them or they love them, and they hate the fact that either of those things are real.
Yeah. No, that's a very frequent motif. That's been there since Norman Bates. It's a classic. Yeah. I'm obsessed with my mom, and I hate my mom, and I love my mom.
So now I'm bad to women or
now
men.
I'm bad to women. This is also the classic, extremely memeable, I love you too. I wasn't talking about you.
Yeah. I couldn't have been more clearly talking about the dog.
Yeah. I meant my mom.
It's like, one, he's in the room with Bum, and like, Bum doesn't know that he's like fucking having a hallucination about his mom.
He doesn't know that he's talking to his imaginary ghost mom.
So, if I'm gonna set the scene, if you were sitting in a room with another person who has been talking to you this whole time, and he's talking about his mom, who he did love, and then he says, I love you, who do you think he'd be talking about?
Yeah, no, poor Boom got fucked over on this exchange. That's ridiculous.
And he was really close to him too, right?
Yeah, he's like holding his face, and he's like, I love you, and Boom's like, I love you too, and he's like, what the fuck?
He's like, I was talking about my mom.
I was talking to my mommy, thanks.
You ruined the mood.
You dude lover. But then he switches over to "Wanna Be My Mom."
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was fucking. I have comments on that later because it.
Yeah.
Chapter 4. This is when he's like in the kitchen, right?
Yes. Chapter 4 is when he is taken up the mom.
Yeah. He's now the mom. He's the mom.
Yeah.
But
no,
also
you're
the
my
housewife.
Mom.
He's the mom and the housewife.
Yes.
So he's in the kitchen. I only have 2 bullet points for this one and a sub bullet point. I wrote, this chapter feels like it should be in a better story. Because he's just like caged in a kitchen by his own mind and by the other person, but like there's no physical barrier at that point. He's just like, he's stuck. Because of injury, because his mind won't let him go, like because the chair can't get over the lip and the dude will hear him if he does that and he'll come up and stab his chin open.
No, this is genuinely a great chapter. Like
it's a good chapter.
Really good.
I said it would probably make a good short film. And there's another chapter too that I was like, you could just stick this right after
this is one of those
4.
moments where this like flirts with being a good comic.
Yeah. It's just the personal moment of like, boom, thinking. And
when he's just sitting there struggling with himself, it's genuinely pretty good.
It's good. And then Song-woo has to come in and do his thing.
Yeah. I made a bullet point that says tiny shittier table next to the regular table.
Yeah. That's kind of sad though. I don't know if they touch on it in this chapter, but like what the
I don't
thing
remember
is.
if it's this chapter or the next chapter where he talks about the backstory of the tiny shitty table, but
I think it's the next chapter.
It is a really funny visual where he's like, this is my big boy table and you sit at the bad shitty little table next to the big boy table.
Naughty boy lovers get banished to the kids table.
Yeah, you have to sit at the baby table next to the table. There's a really good bit towards the beginning of this where Boom says Song-woo doesn't bother him unless he catches him doing something, so he's always just watching for him to make a mistake that he can lash out about.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really genuinely interesting, scary characterization.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where he has to make some kind of excuse to himself about it. There's the additional cruelty of like making it so that Boom inherently feels responsible whenever anything happens.
Yeah, and the additional like panopticon thingy, right? Where it's like he's
where you're always being watched for any fuck up.
Yeah, and then I wrote the only other bullet point I have is, damn, I thought he really went for the stab. Like I thought he stabbed him in the eye. I was like,
nobody was just imagining.
I was like, damn it,
just imagine.
Fucking stab him in the eye.
You should have gone for it, man. That bit where he gets stuck on the door frame trying to get to the door is the saddest thing I've ever seen.
I know. I
was like, that's genuinely awful.
It gave me flashbacks to something I don't even know if I have a memory of. You know?
Yeah,
like
it's just so sad. Like, it's such a little, like, it really is pathetic. Like, that is the perfect word for it. You're just like, God, that's pitiful.
Yeah, but you're like, he can't do anything about it, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, you can't even blame him. Like, you're just like, man, that's just garbage.
I don't have any more notes for chapter 4 because it was just a good chapter.
Yeah, no, it's a genuinely good chapter, so there's not a lot of jokes to be made about it, actually.
Yeah.
Oh no, there is the stew in chapter 4. This is chapter 4.
Okay, so chapter 4, he makes the rat poison stew.
Yes, he's like, I will just kill him, and then I can escape.
Yeah, and Song-woo invites him to eat at the big boy table to eat the poison stew with him. So yeah, in chapter 5, he takes his rat poison. To which I tried to figure out you could be like, oh no, I made you this, but I'm allergic or whatever. You know, like you could try something.
You could try.
Be like, I don't like this. I made it for you though, because I know you like it, even if you don't know.
You would like it, but I can't eat it.
I can't eat it. I can't. It upsets my stomach.
Oh, it certainly does do that.
Yeah. So I wrote down because they both eat the poison stew after some mind games. They both eat it, and Boom passes out on the floor because he like throws up in the sink, and then he passes out, and Song-woo brings him to the bed and gives him a puke bucket and then feeds him salt water to try and get him to throw up. And I was like, he's got to know, right? Like he's got to know that he ate the rat poison. Yeah. Because like, why else would he want him to throw up if he didn't know?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to induce vomiting.
Like, it's clear from the beginning that Song-woo knows he has poisoned this.
Yeah.
I'm not clear on how Song-woo eats it. And is fine.
That confuses. It must be like an iocane powder situation where they...
I have built up a tolerance to rat poison.
Yeah.
There's also a great little bit where they're playing that mind game. They're trying to get each other to eat the stew. Where Boom has that internal like, is it worse to eat this rat poison and die, or to figure out what he's gonna do to me when he figures out that it's rat poison?
Honestly, I would have made the same decision. I would have just eaten it.
Yeah, he was like, I'll just eat the poison.
Yeah. I'm sure you could only eat like a tiny amount and it would do exactly what it did. You know, like you'd only get sick.
Yeah, you would just puke.
Yeah. You just don't eat too much stew. Like
there's also they're having this mind game and Sangwoo interrupts it in the middle to be like, God, you're ugly.
Gotta throw one in there for the road, you know?
Like, I think what I like so much about this character is that on top of being, like, unrepentantly evil, he's also just mean. Like,
yeah.
You don't have to be just mean. It's a different thing, and he has both.
Well, this chapter is where he starts to get a little soft, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he brings him to the bedroom, tries to make him throw up. Time passes and then he comes back, right? And he's like, you feeling better?
And they have that heart to heart. Sangwoo is so like erratic and unpredictable. I wrote down that panel where he walks into the room and it's all silhouette because he's shadowed and you can just see the one eye is terrifying.
Yeah.
I would have shit my pants. I would have pissed all over again.
But yeah, he talks about because he opens up about his mom or whatever, or his dad, and then he's like, you have to tell me your secret shit now.
Yeah, and Boom doesn't.
No. He has an internal monologue about it, but
yeah. Sangwoo's like, yeah, my dad made me eat at a shitty table next to the big boy table with my mommy. And he threw ashtrays at us or something.
Boom fucking they frame this like he's talking about his tragic past or whatever, right? And he like cuts himself or something, and he cuts himself. I don't know if it was as far as trying to kill himself, but he cuts himself on his
wrist. Yeah, it was just self-harm.
And this is his reaction to him being like, yeah, I hate myself, I have depression, I like cut myself. And I wrote, I can't believe this maniac is going to fix this dude's depression with the power of mean.
The power of being so mean. So incredibly mean. He's like, fuck off, die or don't. There is no self-harm. There is only die or live.
So after all that, he decides, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him a kiss. And he kisses his vommy mouth.
Yeah, disgusting.
Even Boom was a little disgusted by that.
Yeah, by chapter 5, he has kissed Boom twice, and both times his mouth was full of just nasty shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why he has a thing for this.
He does it again later. It's not nasty shit, but he only kisses him when there's like stuff in his mouth.
Yeah, I don't know why that's the thing.
It's Banana Fish's influence.
Banana Fish's influence.
Not
the vomit mouth.
At this point I wrote down, how do people mistake this for a romance? He's got one of the most fucking layered Oedipus complexes I've ever seen. Like, oh my God, it's so fucked up.
He's fucked. like
he's
he clearly actually wants to fuck his mom. Like, he has no interest in Boom at all. Oh my God, it's horrible.
I wrote, because Boom gets a little too into the kiss. He bites his lip, right? And I wrote, you bit his lip. He pushed you away, and now you're offering to suck his dick. How the fuck do you think this is gonna go?
Yeah, it's an interesting progression.
I was like, he's gonna say no, but then the next panel is Sangwoo saying, nah, you're scary. And I was like, okay, I didn't expect that one.
Yeah, no, I feel like at this point there's so little way to predict what he's going to do that you can kind of just do whatever, and it has an equal chance of making him want to kill you.
Then Boom gives him a handy over the pants, and Boom comes.
Yeah, which is insane.
He comes all over his hands and the floor, and you see in Sangwoo that he's like, oh no, maybe I, boy lover.
Maybe I am the boy lover. What's fascinating about this to me, I really expected the first time I read this that he would be mad that Boom gets off and he doesn't.
Yeah.
And he's not. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I also made a note that says, I wish you and I could mix like this splat.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, what the ew? I was like, ew. Ew.
It's an incredibly gross thing to say to somebody. This guy is also, like, a terrible pervert.
Yeah.
The idea of, like, I want to mix our come together is, like, just so, like, intensely creepy and weird.
So, chapter 6, I don't know if I skipped over a bunch of stuff, but the first thing I have a comment on is the head up the shirt.
That's the first thing I have a comment on as well.
Okay.
I think there is a bit at the beginning where he drops that pot of soup.
Okay, I thought
like,
so.
It's okay.
I was like, he's wearing a different shirt.
Doesn't get mad at him.
I think I was like, I'm pretty sure he puts on a different sweatshirt, and then he tries to clean up the soup with that sweatshirt, and then it shows him like changing outfits more.
Yeah. He drops the soup and Songwoo's nice about it.
Yeah. He puts ice on it and then he puts ice in his mouth and then kisses him and takes the ice out of his mouth.
Yeah, I thought that was weird as well. I'm glad we both remembered that happening. What the fuck? It's a really strange thing to do, and he puts the ice in his mouth like really aggressively. Too.
Yeah,
he like fists into his mouth, to put ice into his mouth.
You're like, okay, if that's what you're into, man. I'm still gonna judge.
Just a really strange thing. I did actually make a note here when he's talking about Songwoo giving him a bath and changing his clothes every day. I was like, it's like he has a weird pet. Like,
yeah, it is.
He's keeping in his house
a pet that will cook and do the dishes and clean the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first thing I have a comment on is the part where he sticks his head up his shirt. He has his head up his shirt and he says, "So warm, it's like I'm in my mom's belly again." And Boom seems to be into it.
I made a bullet point that just says, like, I'm in my mom's belly.
Yeah, I wrote incredible.
Like, what, huh?
Also, when he's in his shirt and it cuts to the, like, inside the shirt, I was like, why'd they give him titties?
POV inside the shirt.
Yeah.
I was wondering about the titties, too. It literally looks like my tits. Like, I was like, damn.
I was like, why? Why are they so big now? He, like, literally never had these before.
The degree of Oedipal shit going on in this particular sequence, I think I did not remember it being this bad.
No.
Like, I was like, damn, he's, like, really going for it.
Yeah.
Really going for the please be my mom thing.
Yeah. And then also, Boom is sucking his dick. And Songwoo is like, no, you're doing it all wrong. Let me show you. And he takes Boom's fingers and sticks them in his mouth, like into his own mouth. And he's like, this is how you suck dick. And I wrote, somehow sucking fingers is worse. Just show me the dick.
Yeah, no, it is grosser. It is weirder.
It had like slobber all over it. And I was like,
it was very slobbery. Also, why does he know?
He knows what he likes. He's a man who knows what he likes.
I think it's sus. I just think it's sus.
It is a little sus. But I also wrote, got his dick sucked once and now he's a simp because he's really nice to him after that.
That's true. It's true. That's all it took to win him over.
Yeah. And then my final comment on this chapter is I had a realization. I was like, so if he sleeps in the same bed with him in the room on the first floor, which is like, it's in the zone that Boom is allowed because it's not past the line that he said that he couldn't cross before the stairs. I said, what's up the stairs then?
I think it's his parents' room.
But
upstairs.
like, I don't want to know. Don't tell me because I know you've read the whole thing. I don't want to know if there's anything gross up there.
I will not tell you.
Because like if what's in the basement is people that he kills, I don't want to know what's upstairs that they won't show us that he won't let him go up there.
He doesn't want to go look at. I did write down. He asks Boom if he likes sweet things. He's gonna get him a snack.
Yeah.
And then he comes back with a can of sausage.
Yeah. I was like,
Bon?
Granted, I don't know what the like sausage is like, right? But when I went to visit you while you were in Korea, I was very surprised at how everything was sweet.
There were some things that were surprisingly sweet.
Yeah. Like those Ritz crackers, you expect it to be salty, but they had a sweet flavor to them, and it was incredible. And I'm chasing that flavor forever until I can get back there and have some more.
Honestly, yeah, that shit was really good. And then we get into this test of character where he tells him he's leaving, and then he just waits outside the door to see if he'll come out.
Is it chapter 6 still?
I think it starts in chapter 6, and then it actually happens in chapter 7.
Okay, yeah. There's
There's a lot going on in that bit, character-wise.
Oh, the like whole leaving and stuff?
Yeah, well, there's a lot happening here.
I have a good chunk of notes for chapter 7, at least more than the other ones.
I have a lot in chapter 7 too. Okay, I was wondering in this bit, so Boom decides he's going to leave, and he's like, I'll wait a few minutes before I go out.
Right.
And then he's like, I'll go change.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to me feels like it's, that's an exercise in futility
Yeah.
to me, but okay,
He's
whatever.
like, I need to change into my original clothes.
I have to wear boy clothes. Like, okay.
But I wrote, you're still going to try and fucking leave? I thought this was the way it was going, how you wanted it at this point. Like,
yeah,
at
this point, you've gotten what you wanted.
Yeah, he's still
you
trapped.
have achieved your goal.
He's trapped and he has to wear a skirt, but he seems to be fine with it. And his feet are still broken, but like he's not actively being tortured, and he's actually getting.
I don't think he's been hurt since then.
Yeah.
So I guess he's still afraid of Sangwoo at this point.
There's
Which
still,
I mean, that's rational. Like, rationally, yes, you should leave, but this is not a rational person, so.
No. I was like, there is always that threat that he's going to kill you.
That he'll just snap.
Yeah, without, like, any warning. So I could see still wanting to get out, but I was like, this, from a, like, writing point of view, I was like, is this really the most logical progression right now? Like, to be like, everything's going great, and he's like, I have to fucking leave now. Like, you're like,
yeah. Here's a part I made note of. So there's a bit where he goes to the dryer to pull out his clothes.
Oh, I wrote a note on this too.
And it's full of clothes from Sangwoo's various victims, and he pulls them out, and he imagines it as a bunch of bodies pouring out of the dryer, and it's a great sequence.
I wrote, why are that, wait, hang on. I think I had a stroke, because I wrote, why are there that in wash?
Yes. I also wrote down why is he washing their clothes though? Like I was I was like, this is a great bit, but for what reason is he presumably he killed most of these girls some time ago.
Yeah.
So like why is he washing their clothes? And they're like bras and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I was
some
like,
of it
maybe Boom is wearing it, but why the bras?
Some of it, I was like, maybe Boom is wearing some of the clothes that he has stolen from these girls, but also some of it he's clearly not. So
I assumed he was still killing people in the basement actively.
But why wash their clothes?
Yeah, I don't know.
For what reason would you be washing their... Also, why is Boom's clothes that he hasn't worn since he got there in the dryer? Like,
maybe he just has like a wash fetish.
Yeah, like, do you just obsessively wash clothes that have never been used?
But yeah, that was
that
was one of the bait and switches that got me. I thought there were actual like body parts in there.
Yeah.
Like, oh damn.
Why are you wash that?
Why are there that in wash?
Yeah. It is a great scare, but it doesn't make any sense.
So then my next note is, why is he waiting until 6:15?
Yeah, I'm not clear on that either. I feel like I had more comments about the laundry, but I didn't write them down.
It was just really weird. He's washing his victims' clothes.
It was just a very strange thing to be doing. I understand keeping them maybe is like a trophy thing.
Yeah,
serial killers do that kind of shit. But washing them?
he I think he washed them because he did have a comment earlier where he was like, "Does this dude never wash his clothes? He fucking stinks." So maybe it's just a smell thing. Also, where is he burying these people? Because when they go on the street, it looks like a city area.
I can actually explain that from having read this before.
Oh, please don't. If they explain it later.
Yeah, they will explain.
I'll get to it.
I wrote down a bullet point that says arced back crawl. When he's crawling.
He's always gonna have his ass out.
He is. He's a hoe. And I support it.
I wrote, oh shit, gross nasty Uncle Yucky.
Gross nasty Uncle Yucky is a good comment. There's this bit where he's hallucinating Sangwoo at the door, being like, you have nowhere else to be. And I wrote down, that's a great argument for staying here. Like, staying with a serial killer, because I just wasn't doing anything anyway. I have nothing better to do.
I wrote that this chapter would also fit in the short film, like, as part of that sequence, right?
Yeah.
But my next one was, I don't know, man. I know it's not great because he's a maniac, but things seem to be working out here more so than at your uncle's right now. But maybe the better option should just be leaving all of them, man.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like, I feel like you should get out of here and just move to another city. I know you don't have any money.
Even like being homeless might be a little bit better than this.
Man, at a certain point.
So then after this like internal turmoil, he finally opens the door.
Yes.
And I wrote, I really hope Sangwoo was just sitting there the whole time, because that was really funny to me.
I think he was just chilling on the porch, like smoking the whole time.
God, but it's like you didn't smell the smoke through the door?
He smells it once he opens the door.
Yeah, but like that's something that if you were sitting right next to the door, you would smell it.
Yeah, especially I think that door has a mail flap.
Yeah.
So I think you would in fact smell that there's cigarette smoke out there. I think he's not in a great headspace.
No.
To be fair.
Yeah. He opens the door and he's like, fresh air and cigarette smoke? And then he's like, oh, I just noticed this man sitting right here on the doorstep.
Womp, womp, womp. And he's like a big dude, too. Yeah. Like, he'd be hard not to notice.
Yeah, womp, womp.
Listening to the same exact song he's always listening to.
Killing me softly with his song.
Killing me softly
with his song.
Jamming.
That's the best song for this, honestly. I was like, oh, I love that song.
Yeah, no, it is a good song. I am kind of vibing with it every time I read this. Then we hit chapter 8. He opens the door and Songwoo's like mad at him. Like he's like offended that he's trying to leave, which is hilarious.
I hoped you wouldn't, but I kind of knew you would, and I'm still going to be mad about it.
He was like, wow, so you were lying about liking my company? Like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you tried to kill him. Who would enjoy this?
And so Boom kind of tries to grovel for his life, but then he decides, you know what? Fuck it. I'm leaving. And he like crawls to the street.
There's this great bit where he's like, I'm going. And he like tries to march off and he can't walk. It's tremendous.
Like, oh.
It's the saddest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Songwoo comes over and opens the gate for him.
Yeah. He's like screaming in the street on his stomach. And he's like,
oh, it's pathetic. It's so pitiful. It's so sad.
Songwoo starts screaming with him for help. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Guess what? The whole neighborhood is abandoned because there's no shopping mall near there.
I think he was saying there's no shopping district because the place is abandoned. But it does sound like there's no mall, so no one wants to live here.
But
except me.
It looks like a nice neighborhood. I wrote, how is a whole neighborhood abandoned? I don't believe you.
Yeah, no. And I think there's another bit later in this same comic where he says, like, yeah, everyone else is at work in the middle of the day, so there's no one around, and I work at night because I'm a bartender. But that's not what he says here. He says the neighborhood is empty.
Yeah.
No one wants
to live there. And the thing is also it's 6:15 or 6:30 at that point.
Yeah, no, people would be home.
People would be home. So, and there's cars on the street. I don't understand.
There's several cars. There's like a bunch of cars.
So, either Songwoo is a liar or he's pulling the greatest con anyone's ever seen.
His neighbors are just also serial killers. Yeah. Is the only explanation for this. Everybody's like, haha, someone's screaming.
So, then they go back to the basement.
Yeah. Well, first he beats up Songwoo on the car,
right?
Because he picks up Songwoo and Songwoo. Oh, he picks up Boom, who hits him, and tries to get away and calls him a motherfucker.
He beats him up on the car, and there's a
so
weird
beats
shot.
Him up on the car.
There's a weird shot from the inside of the car.
There's a dash cam in the car.
Yeah,
that's a surprise tool that will help us later.
But it is still weird because it like they show his back.
You can't really see what's happening from inside the car. It looks like they're fucking from inside the car. Mm-hmm. So it really is not a surprise tool that will help us later, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, so he beats him up and then they go to the basement. And he has a blanket now because it has his sweat all over it. Then I don't know when this next one comes up, but he's gonna like cut him up or something, right? And like Boom's like
he tells him to pick a knife.
Yeah, the knife or the hook.
Like yeah. The hook. Watch out for the hook. Don't get caught on the hook.
I thought he was gonna fuck him with it, right? Like I thought he was trying to be like, pick one that you're gonna sit on. And I was weighing the options of which one would be worse.
Why would you assume that? I would have picked the hook.
Me too. I was like, at least it wouldn't hurt going in.
But I don't know why you would assume that's what they were gonna do.
I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I said this to my sister the other day. I'm a huge horror person. I don't think anything in this is worse than Leatherface fucking that girl with a chainsaw in Texas Chainsaw. Yeah. Like, I don't think this is particularly unusual for horror. I think the sexualization of violence is a huge thing in the horror genre and has always been. Yeah. And so this is nothing really particularly unique or new.
No, but that's where my mind went. For that.
Yeah, that is insane. But then no, that's not at all what they're doing. But then Boom is like, why don't we just fuck?
Yeah, he goes ultra simp mode.
Yeah. It's Sungwoo's like, no. There's this great panel where Sungwoo just like rolls his eyes like he's annoyed by this.
Yeah. So then after that, this is where
this is where it gets good.
This is where I have my first note in a while. So he's gonna hang him by the rafters because he had set up this device to hang him earlier.
He set up like a pulley.
Yeah,
in the
a pulley
basement.
system.
So you know he was already planning to go full beast mode on him again. It's not that Boom did anything. He already had this planned.
Yeah. And he has this line after like Boom is like whining or crying or something. And Songwoo goes, "Be quiet for a second. You're ruining the mood." And I said, please, pray tell, what exactly is the mood, Sangwoo?
What mood are you aiming for here? Like, I'm really curious. I would really like to know what the mood is.
So then he yanks him up, and Boom tries to, like, stop choking because, you know, he's being hung.
He's dying.
Yeah, and he pulls himself up by the rope because Sangwoo didn't tie his hands. He, like, pulls the rope for some slack on his neck. And Sangwoo, like, kicks him or something, so he falls back down. And I wrote, his neck definitely should have been snapped from the fall.
Okay, I definitely wrote down when he does that first yank, when he's like, upsy daisy, and he pulls the thing.
Yeah.
He pulls that so hard, there is no chance that he didn't at least, like, sprain his neck very badly.
His neck should be fucked up.
It is a hard pull. He should be really broken by this.
Yeah.
He also immediately insults him again. He yanks him into the sky, and he's like, you sound gross.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
And he gets mad at him because Boom is, like, begging for his life, and he keeps saying his name over and over. He keeps saying Sangwoo over and over again, and Sangwoo gets pissed at him. He's like, stop saying my name.
First he laughs about it.
He does.
And then he gets annoyed by it.
But then he decides, oh no, I like this dude, and decides to whip out his dick, at which I wrote, lightsaber penis.
Oh yeah, no, because that's how they censor the dicks.
Yeah.
I wrote down, is this hanging scene a foot job or not? Discuss.
Yeah.
Because he has him hanging from the ceiling,
Right.
so he's elevated above him, so his feet are at dick level. So
But
he's like jacking off onto his feet.
I think he just jacks off onto his feet. It's not a foot job because the feet weren't.
The feet don't really function
Yeah.
as part of the job.
He was just jacking off onto his feet. But then there's another foot thing where he goes and fills up a tub, like, of water, and puts it down in front of Boom. And then Sangwoo takes his foot and hooks it into, like, the rope collar that he had on him.
The noose.
And I'm like, what's with the feet stuff?
There's a lot of foot in this chapter.
Yeah, he yanks him down into the water and, like, tries to drown him.
Well,
kind
what
of.
happens is he drops Boom from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Right? And Boom is obviously angry that this has just happened.
Yeah. He got jizz on his feet.
I feel like he probably shouldn't be able to talk at this point, but
No, he
he
shouldn't
does.
at all.
And he does, and he's like, fuck you. What the fuck do you want from me? Like, why are you doing this? And Sangwoo's like, let's just both calm down before I do something I regret.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he tries to drown him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where he asks him what he wants, right? And Sangwoo's like, I don't want anything.
Yeah.
You're like,
just
no,
do this
you
for
want
fun.
something. Like, you want to have fun. That's what you want. Like,
Yeah. You want to have a good time.
but yeah, I wrote that we can't even escape the foot stuff in a goddamn comic. Like,
Yeah, no. The feet are everywhere.
yeah. I also wrote splunk was the sound effect they chose to use.
Splunk.
When he takes the knife to his chin.
Yeah, no, that's disgusting. Splunk is gross. They do that weird intercut with the like ham.
Yeah, I wrote, ew, gross sliced ham chin. Like,
it is really genuinely gross. Like, it's really disgusting. And then he goes to the gay club. I'm like, what gay bar is this that you're going to that also has male strippers? Like, where did you find this place? I have been to Itaewon, to the gay bars there. They don't have that.
I wrote, where his eye go?
I was wondering that as well. It's just
So then the next note I have is they're back at the house. So
I think at the end of this chapter, he comes crashing down into the basement with this old guy from the gay bar.
Right. And he puts on a little apron.
Yes. And he steals the guy's glasses.
He does, but that happens later.
Yeah, that happens in, here we go, chapter 9. He gets down here. He has the guy in the basement. He also, at the beginning of chapter 9, he's pulling, he pierced his ears for this ruse at the gay bar.
Yeah, he pulls out the
He's
earrings.
pulling out earrings, yeah.
He puts on this apron. He takes his shirt off, puts on this apron, and then sits on this chair like backward style, like a cool teacher.
Yeah.
I wrote, he's only got one eye, it just switches places.
It's true, it just jumps back and forth.
Because then also, soon after that, we get this picture, and I was like, okay, I guess they just don't have a budget for eyeballs.
Yeah, we're just losing eyes as we go. They're gone now.
Yeah, so he's got both these people in his basement now. Old gay man.
He picked up a guy at the gay bar.
Yeah, who has a wife and daughter.
Like a middle-aged man.
And he's got Boom, who's currently pretty fucked up.
Yeah, no, Boom is not in a good place at this point.
Yeah.
He's like covered in bandages everywhere.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that this guy at the gay bar tried to pick him up with like card tricks.
Yeah. He tried to pick him up with card tricks. Sangwoo got pissed about it, and now they're playing this weird game of war, but it's not like war. It's the opposite.
He says cops and robbers.
Yeah, which I don't understand. I wrote, I don't fully understand the rules
I've never
of this
heard
game.
of this game.
Like, I get the concept of like, oh, if you get the ace, like I understood it by the end, kind of how you'd play it, but I just don't understand how the turns are taken.
I feel like you could have come up with a more well-known game.
Yes. Should have just been war.
Yeah.
Where you like, you split up the deck 50-50 and just, that's such a fun game. It has there's no strategy to it. But like,
yeah, it's just a good time.
Yeah. But they should have just done that, but whatever. But yeah, Boom is like putting too much stock into this game and like how to play it. And I'm like, just close your fucking eyes and pick. Because Sangwoo.
Yeah, it's literally a game of luck.
Sangwoo's giving him like hand signals from behind the other dude to like try and help him or something.
Trying to help him win. He's like, okay, we're gonna play this card game, and whoever loses, I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah.
And then he keeps giving Boom hints as to how to win, but it's like, if you don't want to kill Boom, like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You could just not
do
it.
I was like, I wouldn't trust this dude.
No, there's no chance I would trust this dude.
Yeah.
And lo and behold.
Yeah. The next stuff I have is from chapter 10.
Do I have anything else from chapter 9? They play this very long card game.
It's
it is
so
like a
long.
really long card game.
It's like, here's a brief explanation. You get like a hand of cards and you want to get pairs and eliminate your pairs, and but also at the same time, you don't want to end the game with the Joker in your hand.
Yeah, you want the other person to take the Joker from
Yeah,
you.
and you do this by taking cards both from the deck and from the other person. And that's where I don't understand how you take turns.
I think maybe there is no deck. I think they're just taking from each other.
I thought so too, but at the beginning of the round, he only had like 8 cards.
That's true. So I don't really understand.
Or maybe he eliminated a whole shit ton of doubles to start
He did
off.
at the beginning of the first game, because they play it twice, because they play the first time and Boom wins, and then Song was like, wow, great practice round.
Yeah, and you're
a
like,
prick.
what the fuck?
You're like, what? Hey, dude, come on.
Yeah. So then they play the real round and Boom is not having a good time.
Yeah, no, he's not doing well. Songwoo theoretically helps him.
Yeah.
He's giving him hand signals for which cards to pick, but then fucks him over at the end.
The other dude has both the ace and the Joker in his hand, and Sangwoo tries to tell him which one to pick, and he just fucks it up or something.
Yeah,
and
he grabs the wrong one.
Yeah. So he loses. Boom loses. And
that's chapter 9.
Yeah.
It's an entire chapter of playing this shitty card game in the basement. 2 naked dudes.
Yeah, right. They're both naked the whole time. So then Sangwoo's like, okay, middle-aged man, you can go, but you have to kill Boom in order to leave. So you have to kill him.
I wrote down, I will give Sangwoo that he has creative kills.
Yeah, he does. So in this sequence of like trying to get this dude to kill Boom, he takes his glasses from him, and I was like, rude. And then I also wrote, well, at least now he can be voiced by J. Michael Tatum when they get
there you go. Now he's a glasses guy.
But yeah, I wrote, this is the most convoluted way I've ever seen a murder go down.
Oh my god, it's crazy. There's a bit at the beginning of this chapter where the guy's like, I can't kill this young man. I couldn't commit a crime like that. And Sungwoo's like, you know what the real crime is? When you made me try to suck your dick. And I made a note that says the real crime. Now he's fucking Jigsaw. He's like, you're the one who did this to yourself.
This is like a Jigsaw little, like, this is like...
It's a total Jigsaw move.
It's a Jigsaw move beta puzzle for Jigsaw, the trial run. So what he does is he's like, okay, you got to stab him. He, like, grab this knife like you would grab your own dick. And then the dude's like, I
Great
can't do
line, by the way. Great serial killer line. Yeah. I'm obsessed with grab this knife like you'd grab your own dick.
So he's like, I can't do it. You have to help me kill him. You have to help me. He's like, okay. So he's like, I'll blindfold you. He takes his glasses. He blindfolds the old guy. And he puts the knife in his hand. He's like, just like before, just hold it. He's like, I'll tape it here too, so you don't lose your grip. And he backs him against the wall. And he's like, okay, so I'll just have Boom land on your knife, And it'll be fine. You won't really have killed him. You know, he just landed on your knife.
It will take no effort. He just walked into it.
And he's like, count down from 10. You count down from 10, that's when it'll happen. So he goes and grabs Boom, and Boom starts freaking out, obviously, because like...
Boom? Okay, I made some notes about this tantrum that Boom is throwing as well, because he picks up Boom to go walk him to the knife, and Boom is crying and screaming.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then he says... He has a bunch of really funny lines here. He picks him up to go stab him, and he goes, I don't want to die, I hate knives.
Yeah.
What an incredible argument against dying by stabbing. I hate knives. I'm scared.
And so Song-woo is like, starts whispering in his ear. He's like, no, you fucking idiot. Look at his fucking hands.
Like, can you please
just
take a look?
Open your eyes and look. And turns out, Song-woo put the knife backwards in the dude's hand. Surprise, surprise. Boom's not going to die 10 chapters into this 60-something chapter story.
Shocker.
So the knife is backwards in this dude's hands, and he's going to walk Boom onto this dude's hands so that he stabs the old man.
So the old man stabs himself. So that his hands get pushed into his belly.
And he's like, just keep crying. Just keep crying so it sounds like you're not, you gotta sound like you're gonna die, like you're afraid of it. And Boom's like, okay, now I'm crying for different reasons.
I'm still quite upset.
So he walks him onto this man's hands and pushes him so that the knife goes into the man's stomach. We get this beautiful panel where I had to sit there and ask myself for a second, what in the Freudian nightmare is going on here?
Honestly, yeah. Like, what am I looking at?
Because there's a knife in this dude's stomach that he put there himself, kind of.
Oh my god, it's horrid. There's a lot going on.
If someone could, analyze this and get back to us...
Yeah, if someone wants to write the paper that I'm too lazy to write about this comic. He coughs a bunch of blood onto Boom's face, which is disgusting.
Yeah, and then Song-woo rubs blood all over him too.
Yeah.
And it's like,
he's like, look, it's so warm. It's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. It's so gross.
And then the only other comment I have after that is, this is a comedy.
I was about to say, I wrote down, you were so gross I almost shit myself.
Like, this is funny.
What a wacky thing to say. What a goofy dude.
And then Song-woo implies, he says, how was your first kill? How did your first kill feel?
I think there is no way you could twist that circumstance so that Boom was the killer there.
I pushed you onto this dude who I made hold a knife backwards.
It is so convoluted. It's so stupid. Oh my god. Yeah, no, it's whack. It's fucking crazy.
That's where we ended for now.
That's our our stopping point for the moment.
Pretty fucked up.
Yeah, no, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit fucked. I had a good time though.
No, I think it's really good. If I wasn't taking notes, I would have been able to go really, really fast through this.
Yeah, just tear through this.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I read the whole thing in 5 or 6 days. I just sat down and tore through it.
Yeah. So
it feels like a fever dream to me. So I'm having fun going back to it and actually reading it. But you see what I mean? What I was talking about this the other day. I was talking about how personally I'm very into redemption arcs and and even in real life I'm very pro rehabilitation, anti-prison, anti-death penalty. I'm very you can save any of these people from themselves. I can envision a world in which anybody can improve. I'm very optimistic about that kind of thing. And in general, villains in stories, I'm very oh, I'd love to see them get better.
Yeah.
I can't picture a world in which Song-woo is any better than this.
No.
He's so bad. He's so bad. This is my white whale. This is the one hopeless case in my brain. Song-woo is the single thing that wrecks my prison abolitionist theories. You can't help him. There's nothing you can do for this guy.
Fictional character Song-woo.
Honestly, fictional character Song-woo fucked me up. I was I can't even picture how a redemption arc would go. There's nothing you can do for him. Damn, maybe sometimes you do just have to put him down, huh? That was a joke, by the way. That was a joke. I don't believe that. With regard to any actual human being. But Song-woo, he's crazy and he needs to go down.
So I'm not going to try and make any predictions because they're all going to turn out wrong.
Yeah, there's no way to predict where this is going to go.
Yeah, I know. I am curious to see what's upstairs. I'm curious to see what the next step for their so-called relationship is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. I want to know if he'll return to housework or he'll get something more fun to do.
Yeah, some new chores.
Yeah.
Stab this guy.
I think we should just keep trucking along to next week. I don't know.
You want to do next week? We'll record another one of these.
Yeah.
I think week to week probably works well.
Probably, yeah. So we can just do it, get it all through, and then post all of them. But if you want to leave comments on like your thoughts, like it is a book club.
Join our book club. Give us your thoughts on chapters 1 through 10 of Killing
Even though we might
Stalking.
not be able to respond to it in the next episode.
Yeah, but we'll respond on YouTube. We're pretty good about responding to comments, so
yeah,
we will both see them for sure. We read every comment.
Yeah, because we don't get that many.
We get like 12.
So it's easy. Yeah.
So every time we get one, we're both like, ooh.
Unless YouTube eats it.
Sometimes YouTube does eat it. And then we don't see it for like 3 weeks and we're like, oh, we've missed the responding window.
I'll still respond.
I'm like, oh, no.
There is a tell, kind of, for like 95% of our comments who left the comment. I'm not going to say what it is, but if you could figure it out, good on you.
It's true. It's true. You could tell who's responding if you really want to.
For most of them. There's a few that I noticed that it doesn't work for, but
yeah, but for the most part.
Yeah.
So our big discussion question this week was that a foot job? I'll come up with another great discussion question next week.
Yes. Was that a foot job?
Was that a foot job? You go ahead and give your interpretations in the comments.
Yeah. What are the qualifiers of a foot job?
What qualifies a foot job?
Yeah. You could give us the dictionary definition or give us your own parameters, please. I'm very curious.
How much foot is required for it to be a foot job?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you soon.